In today's episode, exit 2 events and enter the expo. First and foremost, I'd like to give 2 shout-outs. The first shout-out goes to the team Geeks 5 Ever, led by my good friend Jesse. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Congratulations on your victory at the cosplay contest. I know that recently you did lose one of your friends, and my condolences. I hope you were able to give your friend a proper tribute when you're there at Anime Austin. Yeah, I couldn't be at Anime Austin. I'm sorry guys, but the thing is, it was way too sudden. I know I'll be busy all weekend. In fact, I was busy all weekend long. So, but let me just say, shout out to you guys. Again, my condolences to your friend, and congratulations on the cosplay contest. I hope to see you all again soon. Finally, my second shout out. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Yup, them cool cats that raised us. 'Cause it's Father's Day. So yeah. Shout out to all the fathers out there, including my old man also. Thank you to all the fathers that raised us to be how we are right now. Well-mannered. Actually being who we are right now. Oh man, it's really hard for me to say things at the moment, because yesterday I was busy trying to pack up some stuff properly. But yeah, happy Father's Day, everybody. So yeah, with that said, what's up? Musashi X here again with another episode of Real Talk, chronicling the current and future events and exploits of yours truly. So as I said earlier in the video, I said exit 2 events and enter the expo. Well, last week there was the E3 Expo, as well as the pay-per-view from New Japan Pro Wrestling called Dominion. We're going to start off with E3, of course. So, E3 this year, well, all the presentations, or rather the conferences, they're kind of, overall, they're kind of average. They don't give that much of an impact the way last year did. Well, to start off with, Electronic Arts. Okay, I think the only thing from Electronic Arts that did sold me was the game A Way Out, which is done by, or rather done by the director of the game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is a really good game, by the way, albeit rather sad in the end. But I'm not going to spoil it too much, so it's best for you to play it by yourselves. So yeah, not much to say about A Way Out, but it did interest me somehow, and that's the only thing from Electronic Arts that I like. Next up is Microsoft. Okay, their Project Scorpio console is said to have much better 4K resolution. They call it the Xbox One X. Really, Microsoft? I mean, we already had the Big N, had one lame name, but then we could already put that meme to rest now that the Xbox One X is born. As if the name Xbox One isn't lame enough already. I mean, I consider the original Xbox the Xbox One, so they could have just come out with a much better name than that. But then again, speaking of the Xbox original, at first I'm sold off on the fact that the Xbox One will attempt to have a patch to play original Xbox One X alongside past Xbox 360 games. Backwards compatibility, I should say. At first, I was happy about it, but then I came to realize that I'm also, or rather a part of me is not sold off by it. But that's only because, if you remember during the Xbox 360 days, they did try to attempt to have the ability to play original Xbox games as well. But the thing is, it's not 100%. And I would know this because I tried playing Gun Valkyrie on it. It didn't work. Panzer Dragoon Orta didn't work so well. Jet Set Radio Future, Blinks 1 and 2, they didn't play that well, so it's not 100%, so I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen with the patch for the Xbox One. Of course, other things from Microsoft that I actually like seeing would be Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which looks nice, visually speaking. But yeah, Microsoft, they hold a good conference this year. It's just that it hasn't clicked overall with me just yet. Conference list is Bethesda. And I gotta say, it must be the most disappointing out of all the conferences because they really didn't show that much content. They keep showing Skyrim. Don't get me wrong, Skyrim is a really good game. It's just they really need to actually talk more than just that. But I will say that the only two games out of Bethesda that did sold me over would be, well, The Evil Within 2, even though I never actually played the first one. Although I have been hearing mixed reactions to the first one, though, but it's up to me to see for myself how it is. And of course, there's Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. And now, I'm not much of a first-person shooter guy, but I am looking forward to actually playing that game, especially when I had a good time actually playing Wolfenstein: The New Order, and the Wolfenstein game that I'm currently playing, or rather, hopefully beats at some point, would be Wolfenstein: The New Blood. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those games. And I also heard that Devolver Digital, they hold their very first conference, but it was just as lackluster as Bethesda, so I wouldn't exactly look deep into that. Now, Ubisoft, I gotta say, they actually hold the best conference so far. In fact, I think it's safe to say that that they actually delivered more than the other conferences did, showing us Assassin's Creed Origins, in which they're showing us how the whole Assassin's ancestry started, going back to Egypt, and showing also parts of ancient Rome, which looks cool. Far Cry 5. And one game that is said to be on development hell for so long, and that would be the sequel, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil is a really unique game. I only played a little bit of the first one though, but I will get back to hopefully playing it fully at some point. But I could definitely say the game looks very gorgeous, is very unique. Different premise on the gameplay. And yeah, we'll see how the sequel goes. I mean, it has been a long time coming. And of course, there's the collaboration with the Big N and Ubisoft when they announced a Rabbids game, which is basically like a strategy game of sorts. Looks interesting. I might get the the Switch for that. Speaking of the Switch, then comes competition between Sony and the Big N itself. And by the way, the reason why I'm calling it the Big N is because, well, the thing is, given their policy at the moment, though, I'd rather not say too much to the point that I'm gonna get myself or this video in trouble for it. So I'm gonna call them in different names as sort of a hint. So yeah, we'll start with the Big N. Well, first off, they got a new Warriors game going on, based on a really popular RPG on the 3DS at the moment. And I gotta say that that's probably the one game I'll definitely get the Switch at first, if only because I am a huge fan of the Warriors games. I mean, I played Dynasty Warriors games for years. I played Dynasty Warriors Gundam, Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage. So yeah, seeing them in Warriors form is definitely gonna be the one thing that's gonna get me to buying the console. That along with well, two new games from the one and only Blonde Bombshell Bounty Hunter. Yeah, you know who I mean. Yeah, one for the console, one for the handheld. Two completely different games, but I'm definitely gonna look forward to that because it has been a long time since we've seen her in action properly. But I can definitely say that the Big N did had a really good press conference this year. And yeah. And finally, Sony. Well, a lot of the times in their conference this year, they're just showing off gameplay footage, like the upcoming Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is said to be take place after the end of the last game, and I can't wait for that because I love Uncharted now. I love it. Back then I used to just watch somebody's gameplay footage because I hardly had the time to invest on it. But after playing Uncharted 4, oh man, was I really hooked. So yeah, I can't wait for Uncharted Lost Legacy in August. Oh yeah, Monster Hunter World. Oh man, I think that might be the one MMORPG that I might invest so much time over because I hardly had time to actually get a chance to start on Final Fantasy XIV. So Monster Hunter World will definitely fill in the gap for me. A remake of Shadow of the Colossus. Whoo boy. The original was so good that well, to be honest with you guys, I don't care how many times this game has to be remade or remastered. That game is just too darn good. You could say it's a real masterpiece. In fact, hopefully in the future, I would also want to do a marathon of games made by Team Ico, beginning with Ico, of course, but also Shadow of the Colossus, and hopefully I could finally get a chance to play The Last Guardian, which I have the game. It's still in plastic. Again, busy schedule. Next up is the Android game. Well, not an Android phone, but rather a game about androids called Detroit Become Human. You can determine your fate by your own choices and all that. An expansion to Horizon Zero Dawn called The Frozen Wilds. And I'll be honest with you, I still haven't played Horizon yet. I will eventually. Of course, more of God of War and actual gameplay of Marvel's Spider-Man, which, in my opinion, looks very awesome. That might be the one Marvel game I'll actually try to own. In fact, the gameplay looks very much in the levels of the Batman Arkham games, just in case you haven't seen footages of it. And finally, there's, oh yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Well, they show some storyline footages already. Um, a few chapters of the story demo or rather, a few chapters of story mode is already available as a demo, and I just downloaded it last night. I just haven't started on it yet, but I might feature that eventually on my other segment of the channel called Trials. So yeah, I'll look forward to that soon, folks. But now that we're done with the conferences, it's time for some of the games that are on the showroom floor. And before I go on, I will say that those that actually went to E3 and actually paid to get in, well, let's just say I envy you guys. I am so jelly. You know who you are. But anyway, moving on. Now, some of the games that are looking good on the showroom floor. Well, first off, in the Square Enix side, there's the City of Final Fantasy Arcade, or now it's called the City of Final Fantasy NT. It's coming out on the PS4. So far, they did announce Noctis from Final Fantasy 15 as one of the playable fighters in the game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. They said they'll have about 50 characters in the roster, and given the fact that it's also done by Team Ninja, or hopefully we could see some guest characters in there. Like, well, given that Team Ninja, or rather, let's just say that Koei Tecmo, it's the company's the sub-company's superior. Let's hope we could see some guest characters in there, like, say, Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. I hope they can do that. Or even Lu Bu from Dynasty Warriors. I hope to do that, because I hope there could be a dream battle between Lu Bu and Sephiroth. Well, let's face it. We could only dream that, right? And then there's the prequel to Life is Strange, called Life is Strange Before the Storm, in which it's set 3 years before the original game, and the character you're playing is Chloe Price, who is 16-year-old at the time, right before the first game, in which we play as Max. Yeah, it's interesting to see how the prequel goes. And of course, there's Kingdom Hearts 3, the game that's been in development for heaven knows how long. I mean, it looks beautiful, but one can only wonder when that game is going to come out. But I guess we'll see. Now, on the Bandai Namco side of things, Ni no Kuni 2, sequel to the critically acclaimed RPG of the same name, Ni no Kuni. Honestly, I haven't even played the first game yet, and I really gotta get to playing that game soon. But it looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. Can't wait for that. Another game I can't wait for is Dragon Ball FighterZ. And that's Z, not S, on Fighters. It's done by Arc System Works, the guys behind Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue. And from the looks of it, it looks very gorgeous. I don't really own that much Dragon Ball games, except for Battle Stadium DON and what's it called? J-Star's Victory Versus. But this might be the one Dragon Ball game I'll actually own, because it looks really nice, so I'll give it that. The gameplay looks very solid. And given that Namco Bandai will actually be at Anime Expo, I might expect for that game to actually show up there as well. Speaking of Anime Expo, or rather companies showing up to AX, Atlas / Sega, well, I guess both of them are actually the same thing now. I hope to see them at AX as well, because when I went to AX last year, I saw Atlas and Sega. They did show Yakuza 0. So hopefully we'll also see Yakuza 6 in there, along with Yakuza Kiwami, the latter of which being a remake of the first game. That along with Sonic Mania, which comes out in August, and I can't wait for it. And I've also seen gameplay of Sonic Forces, which I can't wait to play as well. But hopefully, my hopes though for Sonic Forces is that I hope they'll also have more characters to play than just the two Sonics or your created avatar. And of course, in E3 there was also Activision. Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy comes out at the end of this month. I can't wait to play it in the 4th of July because, well, given that I'm going to be at Anime Expo this year, I'll have to have my parents hold on to my copy for now until I pick it up from them on my way back. Let's see here. Other stuff from E3 that did interest me. Oh, Ubisoft, South Park, The Fractured But Whole. I played The Stick of Truth. I actually enjoyed it. Can't wait for this one to come out. And I think it's safe to say that out of all the press conferences, Ubisoft had the best one. And here's a little thing. This is not the first time Ubisoft actually won E3. In fact, they have won years ago. It's just that it's been largely forgotten, as a lot of people that actually tune into E3 actually tune in more to the big three more so than the third-party companies themselves. So yeah, that all other games on E3 didn't exactly catch my interest, but yeah, that's E3 in a nutshell. Overall, it is very average, though. But hopefully, next year, they'll improve upon better. And some other games that did not get showcased on the Sony conference, well, hopefully we'll see it in PlayStation Experience real soon. Can't wait for that one. Well, now that E3 is done and over with, next up, we have New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion, which happened last week. And I gotta say that all the matches in Wrestle Kingdom back in January were so great to watch, but all the matches right here in New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion was actually very awesome in their own way. In fact, I love seeing both Tiger Mask and Tiger Mask W actually team up with Togi Makabe and Blue Justice Yuji Nagata defeating past legends as well, like Jushin Thunder Liger. Yeah, their 8-man tag team match is really great to see. And then there's the 6-man tag team championship, in which Bushi, Evil, and Sanada of Los Ingobernables de Japón, they defeated Bullet Club, Chaos, Suzuki Gun, and Taguchi Japan to retain those titles. The match between Young Bucks of the Bullet Club and Roppongi Vice of Chaos, another phenomenal match. Really love seeing all the high flying action. The Guerrillas of Destiny from Bullet Club defeating War Machine to gain the tag team titles. I thought it was awesome too. In fact, for big guys like War Machine, they're actually quite agile. Just as agile as say currently in WWE, there's Braun Strowman. If you remember his match against the Big Show, he's quite agile for a big guy. And then there's Cody Rhodes of the Bullet Club, winning his match against Michael Elgin of Taguchi Japan. Again, another Sure, Michael Elgin did had a good match. I mean, especially when previously he did get a good match against Tetsuya Naito, and that right there is a really good match as well. But Elgin against Cody Rhodes, actually a good match in itself too. Then there's Minoru Suzuki of Suzuki Gun, retaining his never open weight championship against Hiroki Goto of Chaos. Another good match. But then the two main events for Hiroshi Tanahashi, coming back from his injury, was able to give it his all against Tetsuya Naito of Los Ingobernables de Japón. And Tanahashi, oh man, solid performance. He got the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Very nice match. Oh man, but the match to end the night, oh man. Kazuchika Okada, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, against Kenny Omega of Bullet Club. Oh man, if the first match between them at Wrestle Kingdom didn't get you off your seat, this one definitely will, because they went on a full hour. That's right, a full hour. They went to a draw after a full hour, but holy cow, they gone back and forth with the Rainmaker or One Winged Angel. Oh man, it's so much so that well, in Wrestle Kingdom, the first match between Okada and Omega, Dave Meltzer of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. My bad. Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer gave Okada Omega 1 6 stars. Rather, 1 star above the usual perfect 5-star rating. But this one takes it on a whole level, at least for Dave Meltzer. And I can definitely agree with what he was saying. Okada Omega 2, 6.25 stars for this match. And I could definitely agree with that, because holy cow, it's way better than the first one. I mean, both of them are actually really good matches, but I think this one really takes the cake that night. And of course, right after the match ended on a draw, Cody Rhodes demanded Okada to have him face him at the G1 special here in the US, which Okada actually accepts. I can't wait for the recording of it, because there is no way I'll be able to go to Long Beach, considering that the show is already sold out. And oh man, once again, just like on my second Real Talk video, if only Anime Expo and New Japan Pro Wrestling had collaborated with each other, and if New Japan Pro Wrestling had it on the Staples Center, I would actually go out of my way to pay extra just to go inside and watch it. So, yeah. So, to my friend Izzy, if you're able to watch this video, well, first off, shout out to you. More power to you, and actually going to the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States special. Hope you have a great time. Hopefully you take photos, because I'm looking forward to seeing them. Especially when you're actually one of two friends that actually got me into watching New Japan Pro Wrestling. Can't wait for you to actually take photos of it. Hopefully. And finally, Anime Expo. Yep, Anime Expo is less than 2 weeks now. I finished packing 75%. And why 75%? Is because I still have 2 cosplays that I actually wanted to make. I will not reveal who they are. I will instead reveal them on my Facebook page. And by the way, my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/MusashiXReviews. Hopefully you subscribe to that one. But yeah, everything else is all prepared. My itinerary, my flight, and all that jazz. It's all in a matter of just waiting for 2 of my work weeks to be done, and then I could finally fly and relax and enjoy myself. Also, finally, my game reviews. Well, again, busy week. Busy things to do at work. So very likely my Tekken retrospective video. In fact, I have Tekken 7 playing right now on my TV screen, in case you still haven't noticed throughout me talking in this video. My Tekken retrospective video, I might get it done next weekend, and that might be the one video I might turn in right before my flight for Anime Expo, because there's no way I'll have enough time to actually record Tekken 7 footage before Anime Expo. Well, actually, I might record it, but I might not be able to turn in my Tekken 7 video until then. So, my Tekken 7 review video might not happen until right after I'm done with Anime Expo. So, I guess in my estimation, it might be around, say, maybe the 6th or 7th of July. In this case, the con right after Anime Expo. That's when RTX in Austin happens. But I'm not too sure if I'm going to show up to that this year. So chances are that might be the weekend where I might turn in my video instead. Well, that actually wraps up today's episode of Real Talk. I hope you like what you had to hear today. And to anybody who's going to Anime Expo, if you see me there, well, drop by, stop to say hi to me. You want to take pics of my cosplay, go right ahead, be my guest. Yeah, Anime Expo. I'll be flying there Thursday, June 29th, 7:10 in the morning, and I'll arrive there around 9:30ish California time. I'm looking forward to the con, especially right after I had to skip on both A-Con and Anime Austin. But yeah. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe also to my Facebook page. Again, my Facebook page is www.facebook.com/MusashiXReviews. Stay tuned for more updates coming from me, gaming, cosplay, and convention-wise. So until then, this has been Musashi X. I bid you all farewell. Take care, and stay tuned.